We caught the vibrance and spirit of Berlin whilst interviewing Christopher Bauder of WhiteVOID, and he talks about some of his lighting artwork and also an exciting new exhibition and gallery space which is opening in early 2021. You told me about this location.
Well, this is the River Spree, and right behind us is our office, the WhiteVOID studios. And the funny thing is that we're working with light, and this area is called Lichtenberg, which means a light mountain or light hill. So it's kind of fitting that we finally ended up here. And as you can see, beautiful nature all around, and right on the other side is already Kreuzberg, which is very central in Berlin.
Can you tell me when you first started creating artworks with lights?
Yeah, I'm always was fascinated with lights of all sorts. I was collecting candles as a kid and matches and fireworks and everything under my bed until my mom found it. Then I started to build little lamps with battery powered small light bulbs. And then later I started to move to pendant lamps and bedside lamps and all this kind of stuff. And then when I started studying here in Berlin in art school, then I started to combine also my old passion for light with computer control. I was studying design with software, so then it started really to all come together.
Well, we're actually going to talk next about something a bit more recent, which is SKALAR. Which is a monumental art installation which has travelled to several places around the world. So can you tell me a little bit about the concept of SKALAR, how it started?
Yeah, SKALAR, I mean, is the last one in a longer series of kinetic art pieces that I did, kinetic light art pieces. So it consists of large mirrors that I can move with motor winches. I can move them up and down and I can tilt them. And at the same time we're tracking moving lights to the mirrors, so I can basically redirect a light beam in space. So again, coming from the computer world, I was interested in creating something like vectors of light in space that I can control. And that's the technical side. On the story side, I realized with all the previous audiovisual shows that I did that sometimes we were triggering very profound emotions in the audience. So they were really getting happy or sometimes sad, or they felt something, and it's just a very abstract combination of light, movement and sound that we're using. So with SKALAR we wanted to push it one step further and really try to trigger certain emotions with those combinations of light, movement and sound. In Amsterdam we had a 20-channel sound system, a surround round sound system, and it was a very large space that we were covering with up to 3,000 visitors at once. So we pushed everything quite to the limit of what we're capable of doing.
In SKALAR you collaborated with sound artist Canzing Ray, and what extra did that bring to the whole equation?
Yeah, I'm always trying to collaborate with someone, especially on the sound side. I mean, I'm a visual artist and I think it works best in combination with a powerful soundtrack. I picked Canzing Ray because he's very particular in creating a wide range of electronic music. It goes from very ambient, very powerful drone style sounds to very abstract, high volume techno beats. So that gives a big range to create with if you are trying to evoke certain emotions. So we use a very hard techno elements to create parts like anger, and very sweet and nice melodies, electronic melodies, to illustrate emotions like happiness. And that was very interesting that he also immediately caught on to the idea of trying to evoke emotional states with the creation of sound and of lights and of movement. So it was a very nice and positive collaboration from the beginning. The first tracks he sent over, I was already like, oh my god, that's it. Basically he created 15 tracks and we needed like 8. So I didn't even know which ones to select, and it was a complete album.
You and Canzing Ray also played some live performances as part of the SKALAR experience, didn't you? So can you tell me a bit about those?
Yeah, I mean, SKALAR is an instrument that we can play in different ways, and one way is how we do it through for the exhibition, which is a bit more meditative, a bit more mellow, a bit differently structured, because we don't know when you will come into the exhibition, so it has to work at any point. And the live show, we have a clear beginning and a clear end, and we can we can perform it more like a concert, where we can start really small and then build up to culminate on a huge peak and then have a release at the end and so on. So it's a different way how to play it, and it also works more as an audiovisual concert experience where people stand in one place, while during the exhibition you are free to roam around and explore from all perspectives.
Well, I believe both were really successful.
Yeah, the exhibition was extremely successful, but also the concerts, like for example in Amsterdam, it was crazy. We had planned for 5 concerts, I think. In the end we played 7, and they were all sold out with more than 3,000 people. So in the end we played like to an audience like a rock star basically normally would fill a huge arena. Of course we didn't do it at the same time, but over the course of 7 concerts we had like more than 20,000 visitors, so it was extremely successful. And also the same for the exhibition, we had like 35,000 visitors on that side. And for the exhibition it's nice because it works for the whole family. You can come with the kids and grandparents and everyone, while the concert is clearly more catering to a more adult audience.
I noticed you've often chosen Robe products to work with as your lighting elements. What are the reasons behind that?
Well, for SKALAR especially, we were looking for a very versatile moving light. So for me the moving light is a light creation machine that allows me to create different forms and shapes of light, from very sharp beam to kind of wash light effects, strobes and so on. And I was looking for all of that in one compact machine with super reliable quality and very good repeatability and so on. And we found the Robe Pointy to be perfect for that. Also relationship of size to output, and also the Mega Pointy, which we used for another show. They're both very, very versatile machines, of very high quality.
Behind you is what's going to be your new gallery space. Obviously it's still being built at the moment, but I understand this is going to be ready for January, hopefully. So could you just tell me about a bit about this location?
Yeah, behind us we see the construction going on for our new location. We call it Dark Matter because all the rooms inside will be completely pitch black, and inside we will present 7 of our products and also our installations. And people can come by and buy a ticket and enjoy the exhibition. And it's like a long walk through all the rooms. You start in the beginning with smaller rooms, and then you end up in the big hall behind us for a large audiovisual show with a big Kinetic installation. Obviously, as you can see here, I like old buildings, a bit rundown buildings, and that's also the case for the large shows. I'm always looking for an industrial, nice kind of space with a character. I don't like neutral spaces, a black box or a white box, where you kind of pretend the space is not there and then your installation is the highlight. I like to play with the building, with the architecture. I see it as an additional actor to our show. And also, since we use light as our medium, it always reflects on the building. So if the building is interesting and has its own character, that only enhances the experience.
During the pandemic, it's been incredibly difficult for everybody. How do you see, or do you see a way forward for live entertainment and live art? Where do you see that going from here on?
Yeah, I mean the pandemic currently, like with the coronavirus, brought live industry to a complete halt basically. People are trying to kind of sidetrack to virtual reality shows or extended reality shows or like some online streaming stuff, but this is just a very weak surrogate for what a live experience is. You meet with other people, potentially get drunk or take other intoxicating substances, and you freak out and you listen to loud music and you hug each other, and that's a live experience. So none of this you can simulate with a live stream. The only part is the music maybe, but that's just a part of the experience. So for me, there's for what I'm doing and what I like to do, the only way is to wait until this is over, because we will come back to normal reality. This is not normal reality. This is a different reality, yes, and we have to live with it for the moment, but this is not going to be forever, and we will overcome it and we will come back to being the social animals that we are, where we want to meet up.
Is there a place, space or art piece that you dream about creating somewhere?
Tate Modern I would love to play, or a stadium would be great, to do a large-scale light show in a stadium. Or there's a really nice old gas tank in the west of Germany, in the Ruhrpott area, and I really would love to play that. It's a pitch black tube, 120 meters high, 60 meter diameters, pitch black inside, so that could also be a really nice space to fill with some light art.